Welcome to episode 2 of season 2 of FountainCast, a bi-weekly podcast brought to you by the Fountain Hills Chamber of Commerce, striving to be your one-stop fountain of information regarding your local business community here in Fountain Hills. I'm your host, Hannah Toth. Be sure to stay tuned after this episode as well to hear about upcoming chamber events. In today's episode, I'm speaking with the owner of The Adventures of Julie Jones, Miss Julie Jones. Julie is a former police officer and SWAT member who is now an award-winning speaker and coach focused on purpose-driven entrepreneurs to help them live their best life and accomplish what needs to get done. Julie, welcome to the show.
Oh, I'm so excited to be here. Thanks for having me today, Hannah.
I'm so glad. We're excited to have you as well. So first, tell us about your transition from police officer to success coach. That seems like quite the dramatic change.
Well, it is. And how much time do we have? So I started off as actually a police officer and SWAT member in Milwaukee, Wisconsin, which is where I was born and raised. And I moved out here to Fountain Hills 21 years ago, believe it or not. And I've lived nowhere else but Fountain Hills for 21 years. And so I've done a variety of things. My biggest drive in life is really to help people, to really serve people. And you only do that maybe a little bit in law enforcement. There's just a lot of negativity that goes along with that job. I mean, there are opportunities to help people, but for the most part, it was always kind of, people don't want to deal with you because they're either in trouble and you're arresting them, or they're in a crisis, and that's why they're calling on you. So when I moved here to Fountain Hills, I have done a numerous amount of different things. I initially started off as a property manager for Quail Run Apartments. Now they're kind of apartments, condos on gun sites. Right? So I started off doing that. I've been a salon owner here in town. I've owned multiple businesses. My husband owns multiple businesses as well. And then, but the thing that I love to do, and I'm very passionate about, is speaking and coaching and really supporting people to live their best life now. And I know that's kind of an overused phrase, but it's really a passion of mine because of what I saw in law enforcement. So I saw that, here today, gone tomorrow. Nobody promises you a tomorrow. Life can change just like that. And so that's why I'm passionate about people not putting off tomorrow, what they can do today, and really living each and every day as if it was your last, and experiencing life full out. That's what I'm all about. It's like having a lot of fun while you're living your life.
That is fantastic, and I love your passion that's just seeping out of you right now. It's incredible to see. So what do you think are the biggest challenges facing entrepreneurs like the people that you coach today?
Well, and that's really what I'm very good at, is facing the fear and doing it anyway, right? Because for all of us, there are different things that stop us in our tracks, and that looks so different for each and every person. And I like to tell people I'm the shortcut to the shortcut. So I've done a lot of things and failed forward, and I always often use this analogy, like I've thrown spaghetti against the wall to see what sticks, right? And what's really worked well for me, and sometimes what's been a challenge. And I am the person that will say yes to life opportunities and then figure it out afterwards. So because I'm so creative and so innovative, and I just see everything that's possible, that's why a lot of people come to me, because when you're in business for yourself, we all have filters and blinders, right? Like we all wear this set of glasses that we have that we don't see everything that's possible. So I just open up the possibilities for you, right? I just show you what could be possible, and then you tell me what resonates with you and what doesn't resonate with you. And so it's really twofold. It's people's fears and then not having enough belief in themselves. Like really just put yourself out there, right? I look at life and I say all the time, I'm proud to say that I'm 54. I might be just a little older than you, Hannah.
A bit.
But I'm really proud of that, because I've reached a decade in my life where I just put myself out there and I really don't care what anybody thinks. And if we all really just stopped and realized that people are not paying attention so much to us, they're just paying attention to their own lives, we would get a lot more done.
Oh, that's so true. Very true. And so that fear, that kind of self-doubt that seeps into all of us really, but I'm sure is especially damaging to someone who started their own business. How do you help them overcome that barrier?
Really showing them what's possible, okay? Because for most people, it's the fear of the unknown, and it's really about taking action. See, most people, if you take action within the first 30 seconds, I'll say, of an idea coming to you, or I challenge you to do something, that will get you to move forward. People hire coaches for one of two reasons. It's usually for, again, the ability to be able to see everything that's possible, right? And somebody who's gone before you. But more importantly, it's the accountability. It's really sometimes very sad that people will do more for someone else than they'll do for themselves. So I'm all about boosting people's self-esteem. And if you've committed to yourself and follow through, that's going to be so key in everything that you do. And the more you do it, the less fear you have. And all of us, like, we all get those nervous, butterfly moments, right?
Yes.
Like, we're all like, oh my gosh, like, remember the first time you went on a roller coaster and it's climbing up and then all of a sudden you go down, right? That's what life is. I'd rather be on the roller coaster than on the merry-go-round, where you're just round and round and round and round, right? So it's all about facing it in that given moment. There's a great book out there by Mel Robbins. It's called The 5-Second Rule. And she talks a lot about how really when a thought pops into the brain, you have 5 seconds to act or it will disappear. Like, you won't have the motivation or the interest in really going forward. So it's the same kind of thing. She has this whole premise that if you have a hard time getting out of bed in the morning, as soon as your alarm goes off, you count down 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, boom, you jump out of bed and get your day started. Exactly the same concept when it comes to something you may be thinking about doing. It's like 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and go ahead and take action.
I love that, and it's so true that those thoughts are so fleeting, and even if they do come back, you don't have that same motivation anymore. So that's fantastic that you've brought that up. And as a success coach, what are some of the opportunities that you see for people just now starting their business?
Oh, there are so many. I really do believe that anything and everything is possible. People come up with these innovative, great ideas. And then sometimes, have you ever been in that position where, like, you thought of this great idea, you don't act upon it, and then you're like, oh my God, that person just came up with my idea, right? Like, those ideas are out there just waiting for you to pull them out of the thin air and act upon them. And so it's all about, again, we've talked about that whole idea of, like, really just stepping forward and taking action is the biggest thing for a lot of people. To find the success that you're looking for, it all comes down to what's within and just really being willing to be coachable and to take the chance. See, I'm going to give people the best information that they possibly can have, and then it's up to you to decide, am I taking action? Am I applying this? And how am I moving forward in life? We're all given a million opportunities, right? I mean, we really truly are. And it's like sometimes we act upon those and sometimes we say, no, not right now. And it's like, if you're really thinking about no, not right now, that's probably kind of like that intuition that's telling you, no, you do need to act right now. Like, for instance, I'll just give you an example of my own life, because I don't coach and train with people anything that I myself have not done or that I'm not willing to do. So the beginning of this year, it was not on my radar at all to start a television show. That wasn't anywhere. Like, I didn't have any thoughts of that. And then all of a sudden, like, these messages started coming to me. And my messages, people would say to me, like, oh, I think you'd be great on television. I'm on some YouTubes, I'm on video, and people would just acknowledge the fact that I have a presence for being on camera. And the more you start to hear that, you start to kind of consider, gee, what would it look like to be on television and to really move forward with that? Now, here's what will stop people. People won't get the information. They won't dive into it. And I don't believe in getting bombarded with a ton of information. But I ask for what you want. If you don't ask, you don't get. That's a big rule. So I put it out there that I was looking to meet with someone who had a television network, who was out there to be able to put myself out there. I got introduced, we had a meeting, I liked what I heard, and before you know it, like without any additional thinking, because thinking will give you paralysis, I just started moving forward, and I'm like, I'll figure it out. And that's exactly what I've done, and I just taped my first episodes in Dallas, Texas.
Wow.
A couple of weeks ago, and they're going to be released at a big red carpet event here in Scottsdale on November 3rd.
Wow, that is so exciting. I didn't even know that you had a TV show now. That's incredible. But it's amazing how you can really create your own reality. When you're looking for something, if you know to jump on that thought, you can take that opportunity, and I think that's incredible. So I love that example.
And you see a really key thing. It's all about creation, right? Because most amazing businesses were just an idea. An idea that somebody came up with and they said, you know what? I think I'm going to run with that. And then you do. Like my business and my business model started from an idea. It's not a tangible product, although I do have a book, right? It's an idea and a presence that I've been thinking about and building all these years. I've always, if you can't tell, I love to speak, I love to talk, right? And so because of that, you start to look at different passions and what you were put on this earth to do. Kind of goes back to your previous question about the success, like the success factor. See, I believe each and every one of us was put on this earth with a particular mission and a particular message, and it can only be heard from us. So when I talk about something, or I'm so passionate about this idea of stop waiting, start living, somebody else may talk about it, but maybe you don't resonate with it, but because it's my message and the message I was put here on this earth to deliver, then people are really going to resonate and hear it from me. We all have that message. It's just figuring out what it is, hiring somebody who can help you define it if you don't exactly know what it is quite yet, and then going out there and speaking your truth to the world.
How incredible, and we are so lucky to have you. So I have to ask, what made you choose Fountain Hills specifically to start this incredible journey?
I love Fountain Hills, and really we came upon it on happenstance. So when I was moving out here from Wisconsin to Arizona, my ex-husband at the time, who still works for the city of Scottsdale, we were both police officers. He came out here. He was hoping to get hired by the city of Scottsdale, and he stumbled upon Fountain Hills because of the apartment community that I eventually managed.
Right.
And so we moved in there. He ended up, signing a lease. We decided to move. Once I got to this community, I have lived nowhere else. In fact, when we were going through a divorce, and that was now, almost 12, 13 years ago, so many people who knew me asked me if I was going to move more like Central Phoenix or more centrally located, right? Everybody has this idea that they think Fountain Hills is so far out. It's really not. It's not as far as people think, and I like to keep it kind of a well-kept secret, right? Because it's such an amazing community, and I just love everything about it. I love the community feel. I just had a friend visiting here from Canada, and she loved everything about Fountain Hills. I took her to see the fountain at night when it was lit up, and
wonderful.
She's like, oh my gosh, this is amazing, right? That is the response I get so many times from so many people, is that if they haven't been to Fountain Hills for a while and I tell them to come out to my house and they see the beauty out here, they're like, oh my gosh, I forget how beautiful it is out here.
And it is such a beautiful community. So in Fountain Hills, what are your hobbies? What do you do for fun besides work, which I can tell you have fun working, which is such a blessing.
I do. I love to be involved in any of the community activities. So like last year I volunteered for the first time at Oktoberfest and had such a blast doing it, because here's the thing, I love to wear costumes. I love to have fun. So any opportunity to wear a costume, I'm in. And I've participated in the Thanksgiving Day Parade, which I love. For years, I was just a spectator. Now I make my husband put together a float and we participate in the parade itself. I hike here. I love to support local business because of the fact that my husband and I both own businesses here in town, right? So we're out supporting local business. Anything to do with Fountain Hills, and if there's great activities going on, I've participated, walking the art festival, eating. I love to eat.
Yes, of course.
And it's a great community. And here's the best thing too. Sometimes it's just hanging out in my own backyard because it's a dark sky community and seeing the beauty of the stars in the backyard. I mean, my girlfriend who was just here said that I have like a resort-like backyard.
Oh, wow.
And that's just one of those things. You just want to be enjoying the community, because I really do love the people who live here in Fountain Hills.
And we love the community as well, of course. We're the Chamber, and so at the Chamber, of course, we always ask, what advice do you have for new Chamber members as they're entering into this?
Attend the events. Attend the events and really get to know people and network and build those relationships. When I go to a networking event, and I've been networking for years, I don't attempt to meet everyone in the room. I meet a couple of really, cool people, because you always do at the networking events. And then I start to build those relationships. Meet people for coffee. Find out really about them. I have this huge philosophy of giver's gain, right? So I'm all about how can I help you before I even ask how you can help me. Like, I really want people to feel the community aspect of Fountain Hills. So let's get involved and just take advantage of all the opportunities. The Chamber, in my opinion, I belonged to the Chamber probably 15 years ago. It was nothing that it is today. It's so warm and it's so welcoming. And I just know that so many business owners really appreciate being part of the Chamber. And if you're not part of the Chamber, you're doing something wrong. So make sure you come and check out the Fountain Hills Chamber.
Well, her words, not mine. So listen to Julie. So Julie, how would one contact you for coaching, or where would they hear you speak?
Oh my gosh. Well, there's all kinds of opportunities to hear me speak. The biggest way and the best way to get a hold of me is juliejones.biz. That's B-I-Z. I'm the one and only Julie Jones. And so you can find all my information on my website. And in fact, right on the homepage, you can book a call with me, 30 minutes complimentary, just to get to know me, see if we resonate, bring me your toughest problem, and we'll brainstorm on how to overcome that problem. And then I'm really super excited because I'm doing my first 2-day event. Yes. So thank you. November 4th and 5th. The name of the event is Stop Waiting, Start Living. So it's going to be an event like no other. It's going to be so much fun. It's going to be fun and adventure, but you're also going to be learning, what's most important to you. Really take the time to spend with me for 2 days and find out by spending that time with me, you'll have the opportunity to open up so many more doors and be more productive without losing your sanity, which is what I always say. And I'm excited. So that site is stopwaiting.biz, B-I-Z, and you can find out more information about the event. But if you go to my website, you'll find out where I'm speaking all over the valley.
Well, fantastic. And thank you so much for being part of the show today, Julie. That will wrap up episode 2 of season 2 of FountainCast. And once again, thank you so much for listening to today's episode. Don't forget to share our show with friends, neighbors, clients, anyone in your network, and please like, rate, and review our show wherever you listen to your podcast. Remember, you can also view this episode on the Chamber's YouTube channel. Be sure to check fhchamber.com to request to do your own podcast, uniquely Fountain Hills episode, additions to the newsletter, and so much more. Now for upcoming Chamber events. Join us for the FH Connect Breakfast on October 20th at 7:30 a.m. at the Chamber event patio. Don't forget the Parade of Thanksgiving Turkey Drive is November 1st. Come drop off a turkey or turkey dinner at Extended Hands Food Bank from 4:30 to 6 p.m. or check the Chamber events calendar for other times throughout the week. The Fall Fountain Festival of Fine Arts and Crafts is coming up November 11th, 12th, and 13th. Artists from all over the country will be right here in Fountain Hills to share their special creations. You won't want to miss it. Join us for the Accurate Tax and Accounting Services ribbon cutting at 5 p.m. at their office on Saguaro Boulevard. And be sure to check the Chamber website for more details on all events. We're so grateful to Julie for sharing her unique story with our listeners, and thank you, Fountain Hills, for continuing to be the best community.
That's right.
Thank you so much.
Oh, you're so welcome. That was so much fun. Thanks for having me.
That was so much fun. You made it so easy, and I get why you're a speaker.
Well, thank you. Yeah, I record.
Don't forget to share our show with friends, neighbors, clients, wherever. Oops, is that up? Don't use that, Betsy.
Okay.
Information regarding your local hoops. We're gonna start that over. Sorry about that.